Jay O'Shea with Berenguer, able to turn, space on the left-hand side for Henry Hoare. Hoare bearing down on goal, turns inside and shoots. Oh, and the mistake by Delianov. 2 minutes 30 on the clock, and Brisbane are ahead. Henry Hoare's 6th of the campaign.
Well, what a start for Brisbane.
Burke Gilroy with Trewin. They're pushing and pulling Adelaide's defence around a bit. And Isaias, that was a little too easy. O'Shea wins it straight back. Now Ibasuki, the ball bouncing around. That's a good ball from Stephen Moore for Clough. Aldred across in cover. 3 in the middle to aim for. Ibasuki is there. Goal number 14 of the season for Ibasuki. Clough with the assist, and Adelaide back on level terms.
Well, let's contrast Brisbane and Adelaide. Brisbane really found it difficult to get players forward on the break. On the Harvey Norman replay, look at the difference here. There's no slowing up of the ball. Stephen Moore arrives from deep. Ibasuki at full stretch to make the telling touch, and Nirankunda was added to that posse as well. Really good stuff from Adelaide, who've coughed and spluttered in the final analysis up until now.
Here at Adelaide onto the front foot. Kito's ball in towards Ibasuki, and he strikes again. His prolific campaign continues for Hiroshi Ibasuki. That is now 13 goals in his last 16 matches for Adelaide, and a double here at Suncorp.
And not for the first time he secures a brace. On the Harvey Norman replay, his conversion from chances created, my instinct tells me, is pretty high, because inside the box he's a great technician. He's obviously very tall as well, and you get service like this, which is beautiful from Ryan Kiddo. Ibasuki is such a handful in these situations because of his height. He's got terrific heading technique as well, and helps himself to a second for the evening.
Maybe we'll just wait a moment for that, because here is Mile Uznic. And there is a player, and perhaps the reason why he should have so many more goals than he does in his career. Long for Madana, who's got the better of Burke Gilroy. Madana into the area, and Stephen Moore is there. And he enjoys his 2nd goal since returning. And there you see the impact of Panache Madana, straight off the bench and providing a brilliant assist for Stephen Moore.
Well, it's a nice ball forward on the Harvey Norman replay. Madana's too much physically for Burke Gilroy. And this is what Brisbane don't have, a player arriving from midfield to add numbers into the box, and it's the hallmark of Stephen Moor's game. And the cutback is really good. Great composure. Arrives right on time. And you'll recall Hiroshi Ibasuki's first goal and Adelaide's first goal tonight. It was Stephen Moore, part of that charge forward again. He's got incredible capacity to get up and down the field, Stephen Moore, and now he's added a goal next to his name.
Now Madana keeps it alive. Van der Sar drives it into the back of the net. There's another assist for Panache Madana since coming on barely 10 minutes ago. And this one is getting away from Brisbane now.
Well, he was sport for choice in the end on the Harvey Norman replay, Panache Madana, and Brisbane just didn't recover. Look at the lack of desperation of Brisbane players to recover the penalty area. The clock's ticking, no one's responding. Madana can turn back off with a bouncing ball off the byline and face the danger zone and find an unmarked player who passes the ball in. That's Harry van der Sar. And great news for Harry van der Sar. 4 for Adelaide. Pretty ordinary from Brisbane, truth be told.
For Jelicic, Hoare, Berenguer, back for Henry Hoare. Henry Hoare, good save, Delianov. Lofthouse drives it back in. And Waddingham, he turns the ball into the back of the net. So the youngster, reportedly with plenty of interest in his signature as well, enjoyed that fantastic cup run all the way to the final, where he scored there as well. now gets his 7th A-League goal in his first ever season. Plenty of time for Brisbane. Lofthouse, he'll get another chance. Bounces back off Kitto. O'Shea's ball, back post. Bert Gilroy is there. Now Berengate. His cross is not a bad one, and Henry Hoare has pulled another goal back. 4-3, and game on. And Adelaide are not in the clear just yet.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Hoare with Lofthouse. That's a great turn. Lofthouse into the area, still going. Henry Hoare on a hat-trick. O'Shea's ball in. What a go! Off the crossbar.
Well, it's a great header. Lovely ball in.
Popovic.
I think he's the player that's going to be asked the most of this evening in the MacArthur midfield.
Old slides it through to Barbarousas, flag up on the far side. Barbarousas hasn't seen it. In fact, the flag's come down. Barbarousas! And it's in the net from David Ball. Flag is up on the far side. They'll check it. At first glance, it looked offside. The assistant referee put his flag up, then put it down. Play carried on.
We saw Costa Barbarousas shrug there. And the flag, as you said, Piney, up and then down and then back up. So, suspended animation here at the moment in Wellington. It looked pretty clean cut, but we have seen these sorts of decisions at Sky Stadium go the way of the home team. But not this time, it seemed. They want to get players down the ball side. And it does leave them vulnerable on the offside.
Brilliant from Rufa into the path of Tim Payne. Pulls it back for Barbarousas. Can he find Ball? There's the shot instead. On the turn from Costa Barbarousas. What about the raking pass from Rufa to find Payne?
Well, that's something that Alex Rufa's added to his game this season. Happy to get on the ball, happy to take it forward. Stujovski will be looking for from the number 14.
Yeah, just a second start now through to Barbarousas. Costa's one-on-one. Costa Barbarousas opens the scoring in Wellington. Lucky 13 for the season for Costa. And the Knicks take a 1-0 lead.
Refined, resurgent. He said during the week that he hadn't found his stride last year, but he's absolutely hit the ground running this season, and he gallops away from MacArthur.
Is it going to break the way of Wellington? It does. Drew, fair enough with the challenge. Germain. There it is for Uli Davila. All sorts of space in the penalty area, not the contact Davila was after.
Well, the referee let play develop under contact, and then Carl Veer will want to understand who we can call upon for next season, and they got a bit of a response from them last night.
Here is Sutton. Old's going to track that one down towards the far post, arriving Payne! Tim Payne makes it two! The header at the far post from a pinpoint cross, and Wellington double their money.
Well, it only took 8 minutes for the Wellington Phoenix to land the second blow. Tim Payne. De Silva's also someone that's popping up with greater frequency.
First touch for Lachlan Rose, a cheeky little back heel. Turns out okay, Skitatis is forced wide. Tipped over by Paulson. A really good effort from Jerry Skitatis, who's only got, he hasn't got any actually. He has never scored an A-League men's goal, Skitatis. That'll be about as close as he's come. Well, teammates with him, one being Ben Old. Barbarousas is in the area, Salas too. Ben Old still with the ball, Rufa. Barbarousas and now Kryev. Sutton on the volley.
Well, that was eventually well constructed from the Wellington Phoenix, but I do feel, that said, Piney, the need isn't there either, is it? 2 goals up early on. Gave themselves a good, healthy advantage at the start of the match.
Is there a cherry on top here? Ben Old looks to provide it. Oscar Zavada, he goes down. Surely a penalty. Yes, it is.
After Ben Old's run.
The check is complete. It is Zavada against Curto. Welcome back, Oscar Zavada. A 3rd goal for Wellington tonight. Momentum secure heading into the playoffs. And Oscar Zavada with a goal he's craved for quite some time. Wellington don't want to stop. Rufer is urged to shoot. He might now. Straight at Curto, and that might be the last chance for Wellington tonight.
Well, it looks like Wellington might become a principality of South Australia, Piney. But before then, Alex Rufer onto his left foot. Good hands from Philip Curto.
Ben Abraham brings proceedings to a close. The final destination of the Premier's plate won't be known until Wednesday. Wellington Phoenix have done all they can, and now for one night only, Yellow Fever will don the red of Adelaide and urge them to victory, hopefully, as far as they're concerned, against the Mariners in Gosford next week. It is a very workmanlike performance to finish the regular season for Alex Rufer and his Wellington Phoenix players. Goals to Barbarossa's Payne and a late penalty to Zavada. There's your final score in Wellington. The Phoenix have won it 3-0.
Off the head of Jenkinson, Grozos threads it through. Clayton Taylor, chance for the Jets. Oh, was that a hand by Dan Hall? Play goes on for now. And Taylor, well tackled by Jacob Farrell. VAR, I'm sure, will have a look at that. Meantime, Thea Harris dispossessed by Timmins. And Jenkinson will ferry it back to Kankar. We are told it's all clear on the VAR check.
Well, on first glance, that looked like a handball, didn't it? Obviously, we haven't had the luxury of a replay yet.
Taylor. Piscopo, gonna have a go here. Just routine for Vukovic. Here's that potential handball.
Let's have another look there as it flings up. I'll tell you what, it's outside the box for me.
That's the question, is it outside the box?
Yeah, I think his arm's outside the box, so VAR cannot intervene. That'd be the reasoning.
Otherwise, it's a stonewall pen.
Yeah.
Now, Stamatolopoulos, top of the box. Apostolos Stamatolopoulos, and I reckon that grazed the base of the post.
Well, they weathered the early storm, but it's all Jets now, isn't it? Stamatolopoulos is at the heart of it. Clayton Taylor as well. Too much time there. You see, he just looks over his shoulder. Dan Hall and Brian Kaltak allow him to turn on the edge of the box. One of the season's most prolific strikers. You cannot afford that space in those areas.
Again, looking to bend it in behind for the run of Stamatolopoulos, and he's in here, Stamatolopoulos, and he's claiming that he was held back. Play continues, and they're trying to play in Taylor, and the ball glances off the post again, but Stamatolopoulos played at that ball from an offside position, and the flag goes up. But there might be a question as to whether he was being held back in that first phase of play there, Apostolos Stamatolopoulos.
Well, it was a great run and a great ball again down this near touchline. You see there, Brian Kaltak just reached the arms out. You can see Stamatolopoulos asking the question. He's actually onside in that position there.
That's a good header from Rue, and a bit of space here for Michael Docker. Might have to go on his own. Now he tees up Max Ballard, trying to place it. Ryan Scott had the angles covered, I fancy.
Well, he's got himself amongst the goals in recent weeks. It was a wonderful run from Docker. As he got his head up, there was plenty of gold shirts, and as he turned back, he saw Ballard just coming on the edge there, and he looks to guide it in the bottom corner. But as you say, Simon, Ryan Scott would have had that covered if it was inside the post.
Dan Hall just having to reach for that one, but it's a good release from the central defender, and Alan Quall is away. Slightly errant touch, gets a second goal, and Alan Quall scores! It's his first goal since New Year's Eve, and it sends those Mariners fans into ecstasy. Are they heading for the Premier's plates for the third time in their history? One back by Bayliss, who's done really well to find the angle for the cross. Seen out by Quall. Costa Grozos stings the palms of Danny Vukovic. And Bayliss didn't play the ball, knew he was offside, so out it goes for a throw. A terrific first half of football. Docker with the corner. Angled in low and thrashed into the... Oh, I thought it got in. I thought it had gone in. And Danny McBroom, I can tell you, jumped up in the air. He thought the same. I haven't beaten the Mariners at home in a derby in over 4 years. And they certainly won't want to end their season on a losing note. But they're on the attack here. Clayton Taylor, who's found plenty of room down that left-hand side in the first half. Again, getting clear. And the cross is not a bad one. It's 1-1. Apostolos Stomatolopoulos, who breaks Adam Taggart's 9-year club record of 16 goals in a season with his 17th of the campaign. And just like that, a minute after the restart, the Jets are all square. Found the cross over the head of Ryan Edmondson. Set up through Farrell, Harrison Steele, and it's gone in! A deflection, Harrison Steele! A goal that puts the Mariners back in the Premier's plate ascendancy. And it's only his second ever goal in the competition. It took a heavy deflection and looped in past Ryan Scott. And those Mariners fans in ecstasy once again.
They find a way, they make inspired substitutions, and they seem to will that ball into the back of the net.
Michael Docker with the free kick. Right in front of a bank of yellow and navy blue. That's 3-1, that'll do it! Ryan Edmondson from close range. The Mariners are going to go back to Gosford, needing just a point to lift the Premiership, barring a late miracle from the Jets here.
That's Sydney FC now taking on MacArthur. It's still possible. Oh, as here goes Bruno Fornaroli. The destroyer in the first game between these two sides. The cutback for Mashash! And Melbourne Victory are in front. Just 3 minutes in. And they run to celebrate with Lee Broxham on the bench.
You know, they've just been able at least to take a breather. For the time being, at least.
Now Traore. Oh, that's a great ball for Arzani! Crisp finish. And they haven't regrouped quickly enough. A quarter of an hour in, and Melbourne Victory have doubled their advantage. It's a flowing move, and just shows you how simple football can be sometimes. Now Marcelo long towards Sapsford, beautifully brought down by Miranda. The pass not so beautiful. Here's Gabriel Clerc on the charge. Gabriel Clerc. That's a neat little pass for Lockie Brook, and how about the finish? Great initiative from Gabriel Clerc, charging forward. And he spotted Lockie Brook, whose finish was absolutely superb.
But it's a terrific goal.
Clisby. In it comes Marcelo's header. Izzo spills it. Referee says nothing untoward. Driven back in and tipped over. And in the end, after all of that, the referee does bring it back for a free kick.
It was a great hit from Josh Baranta. Yeah, there's the foul there.
Scicluna peeling off to the right. Priestman back with Marcelo. Now Scicluna, first time ball. Parias, oh, easy as you like. They're back level. Nick Milanovic with the cool celebration in front of the Northern Terrace. Victory's turn to try and just tighten the screw a little bit here. Mashash's touch, he gets it back. Mashash into the area. Still Mashash with Arzani now. Arzani deflected and into the back of the net. Arzani at the double with a little helping hand. And it's victory 10 minutes into the second half. Priestman long towards Eunice. The little nod down is brilliant for Blair. It's still alive. It's in the back of the net. Aidan Hammond. And we're all square with 17 minutes left to play. And as we celebrate two legends of the game.
Driving victory into error-making situations.
Proxim, this could be trouble for Priestman. Referee allows the advantage for Neroli. Oh! How close was that? Now, is Oscar Priestman in a bit of trouble here? Brillante. The cross comes in. Not enough elevation. Headed away by Miranda. Priestman. Oscar Priestman deflected. It's in! Unbelievable! 3 minutes left in regulation time. And the Western Sydney bench erupts. So does the away corner inside Amy Park. Proxim's header. Oh, look at the space for Fornaroli. Bruno, brilliant save. The outstretched boot of Lawrence Thomas. Teague keeps it alive for victory. Here's Marcelo. Now Lawrence Thomas is down.
What a moment.
Injured in the collision with Scicluna.
What a moment.
It'll be another throw. Referee looks at the watch. We're into the 100th minute of this epic battle, which will go no further. The Western Sydney Wanderers needed a victory to stay alive. Well, they were on life support after 15 minutes when Melbourne Victory were 2 to the good. But there was a pulse. And Marco Rudan, perhaps, with just the little look to the heavens. Whew. We've survived and lived to fight another day. That day could well come tomorrow, because now they have fulfilled their part of the bargain. And now they must wait and see whether Melbourne City can uphold their half. And if they can, it will be City into the finals, and all of this will have been in vain. And now they wait. It's finished here at Amy Park. Melbourne Victory 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 4.
Matt Leckie and his experience and his quality, of course, that goes without saying.
Such a powerful player that we're lucky to be seeing back home over the last 3 seasons. Here's Lockie Wales going on the run. He scored 2 goals this season. They both came in the first month of the campaign. There's been nothing since then for him.
Yeah, and it's movements like this, and then what's at the end of it that is really going to either take Lockie Wales to the next level or leave him where he is.
And a hat-trick here last season. Oh, as Adam Kersey's collected by Nuno Reis. Ball over the top. I think Michael Roos looked offside. Play continues for the moment. And Roos slots the ball home under Jamie Young, but he did look a good couple of metres offside, to be fair.
At first glance, he certainly did.
Pasquale with Grimaldi. Garuccio with the overlapping run. Oh, that's brilliant from Grimaldi. The youngster, the little cutback towards Danzaki. Still Danzaki. The ball bouncing around. Pasquale with the follow-up. That's taken a touch off someone on the way through, so corner to follow.
Well, they're living dangerously, Melbourne City. Nuno race with a very, very sloppy giveaway.
Arslan, all quality, through the legs of Pasquale. Little touch off for Matt Leckie now. 3 forward in support. Poking the ball through for Natel. It was a great touch to get in front of Tomoki Imai. I'm not sure there was enough contact to bring him down, and he was travelling at speed.
Yep, fantastic from Melbourne City, and great advantage played by Adam Kersey when he could have pulled up for a foul on Arslan, and I don't think there's a touch there. As we watch the replay, I think Natel was just off balance enough to go to ground on his own accord. Fantastic refereeing, Adam Kersey.
For Melbourne City, Tolgay Arslan. Whips it in, near post, the finish! And it is McLaren! Ghosting in at the back post, classic Jamie McLaren. Melbourne City have opened the scoring. Jamie McLaren's record against Western United continues intact. Good run from Roos through the middle. Now Grimaldi arriving in support. Is he arriving fast enough? Perhaps the other side, Lockie Wales. Great save again from Jamie Young. There was no offside flag this time.
Lockie Wales thought of that miss.
Pasquale takes over, releases Danzaki quickly. Roos and Wales in the middle again. Wales drifting to the back post. It's a great ball. And again, the header is straight down the middle. And Young is in the right place again. Thurgate. Wales went for it, didn't get there. Now Roos. Roos hits it hard. Grimaldi with the follow-up. And perhaps a little too tame, concentrating on getting it on target. Can't beat Jamie Young again. Go to Kador, one of those youngsters is out. Rami Najarine. As here's McLaren. Yarkulish, oh, the pass was underhit. Yarkulish still, oh, McLaren, surely! You expect to see that ball nestling in the back of the net.
But still then, Robbie, it's almost, you can't believe what we've just seen.
Grimaldi's ball in, oh, and Danzaki with the header. And talk about slow motion, it was like that was standing still as well. Ugarkovic is staying at right back for the moment. That's a great ball from Grimaldi for Wality. Abel Wality shoots and scores! And the flag is up for offside, it won't count. Looked at the situation and thought there's no advantage, but it doesn't matter. And Melbourne City, for the 10th season in a row, are into the finals. Looked at the situation and thought there's no advantage, but it doesn't matter. It's all over. Jamie Young exults. And Melbourne City, for the 10th season in a row, are into the finals. But it wasn't easy. It all came down to the final match of the season. Jamie McLaren, the club and the league's all-time leading goal scorer, with the crucial contribution in the 19th minute. Shake of the hands from the referees and the coaches. Aurelio Vidmar has done a job as interim coach. And a shake of the hand with his opposite number. Well, Western United will look ahead now to next season. Their campaign has ended. They've managed to avoid the wooden spoon. They have not avoided an Australia Cup playoff. They'll be looking to put a difficult campaign behind them. Melbourne City will be looking to turn a difficult campaign into a glorious one. They're into the finals by the skin of their teeth. And now, over the next month, they will believe that anything is possible yet again. It's finished here at Amy Park. courtesy of Jamie McLaren. Melbourne City 1, Western United 0.
Jordan Courtney Perkins with the throw. He started all 3 games at AFC Under-23 Asian Cup, which was so disappointing for the Olyroos. Jonathan Barrero just making a pretty strong point to Mustafa Ramini that he'll make the decisions.
Yeah, I think he's just giving Mustafa Ramini an early game antacid tablet.
Katrumbis has given Sydney this set piece, which was driven in and headed in for the opening goal by Jordan Courtney Perkins. Some return off the head of Benny, but steadied down for Sydney by Bratton. Now with Grant and Lolly. Lolly looking to go himself. Not too far away.
Yeah, I think after 2 seasons in the league, I think A-League defenders individually.
Glory through the press quite nicely, and Kolakovsky in behind, ahead of Hayden Matthews, chance for the equaliser, and Andrew Redmayne stands strong between the posts, still there for Taggart. Did it glance off the hand of Ryan Grant? It looked as though the arm was pretty close to the body, and Jonathan Barrero not interested in the penalty shout. A little scare for Sydney FC. It was a good break. Glory have had a couple of attempts of their own. One for Kolakovsky in particular was a decent one. Lolly just showing too much of it to Rawlins, but he's got it back. Joe Lolly. Wide it goes, which gives us a chance to say good afternoon to Tristan McManus on the sideline. Welcome back from the jungle, Tristan.
Oh, thanks, guys. What a game to be back for. Great start from Sydney already. Stats don't really tell the story of most games, but they certainly do today.
There's Davey Williams on the bench for Glory today. He escapes most people's memory these days, but he played for Sydney briefly as well. Here's Taggart pouncing on that error in the Sydney FC defence, but not quite able to test Redmayne.
Well, pretty uncomplicated.
Tough choice.
Beautiful. What they did for their football teams, just beautiful. Close on the heels of the groundbreaking Thomas Broich.
Here's Rawlins. It's a really good delivery by Josh Rawlins. And it's sort of gone betwixt and between Kolakovsky and Taggart and 1 or 2 others.
Again, great promise for Perth. Rawlins back from his first overseas sojourn and maybe with his wings clipped a little bit.
Touched by Caceres. Kucharski, good save. The follow-up for Lolly Shawley. Turns it in. Sydney have their 2-goal cushion. And those heroics from Ollie Sale meant nothing in the end. Appeals for handball.
This has been stopped at this point.
Here we go. It's Giordano Colli. Does the ball strike the hand? It looks as though it has done. And it's away from the body. I reckon Perth are in trouble here.
I hate this. I really.
Penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so harsh. It is so harsh. It's not the first player. They're not the first team to fall.
He doesn't score many. 11 in 274 games. Make that 12. It's only his 2nd ever goal for Sydney FC. Finds Rawlins well. They've worked this nicely. Carluccio. And they find the angle for a shot. They can, you know. It's a brilliant finish from you-know-who.
As good as any in the bottom 4 of the 6 as it's currently constructed.
Here's Joe Lolly looking to make it 4. Sale holds them up momentarily, but only that. And Robert Mack gets in on the scoring act in front of the Cove.
Has been seemingly protected from yellow card trouble.
Here's Mack. Sale's come out a long way. Mack around the keeper. Goal number 50 of the season for Sydney FC. And Robert Mack has a double to celebrate that 50th game in the competition for the Sky Blues. And Perth. Whilst you're watching those celebrations, Perth have made another change. Qua and go. The Young winger of Vietnamese heritage is on in place of Jacob Muir. Here's Joel King. Oh, that's a really good save by Ollie Sale. Otherwise, we would have had 7 this afternoon.
Yeah, and it would have been a magnificent 7. Joel King just off the bench. Socceroo left back.
Ryan Grant. Caceres. Open pasture here on the left. Joel King. 6 of the best for Sydney FC. And Joel King's second A-League goal this season. And Ollie Sale. Here's the good news for Glory. We're into stoppage time. Lolly. Oh, it's crept in. Nothing Ollie Sale could do about that one. And Sydney are in 7th heaven. They've equalled their biggest ever margin of victory. And Joe Lolly has a double.
Here's Jay O'Shea with Berongate, able to turn, space on the left-hand side for Henry Hoare. Hoare bearing down on goal, turns inside and shoots. Oh, and the mistake by Delianov. 2 minutes 30 on the clock, and Brisbane are ahead. Henry Hoare's 6th of the campaign. O'Shea wins it straight back. Now Ibasuki, the ball bouncing around. That's a good ball from Stephen Moore for Clough. Mordred across in cover. 3 in the middle to aim for. Ibasuki is there. Goal number 14 of the season for Ibasuki. Clough with the assist, and Adelaide back on level terms.
Opportunity to avoid the Australia Cup playoffs, which is something a point we've raised for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Here at Adelaide onto the front foot. Kito's ball in towards Ibasuki, and he strikes again. His prolific campaign continues for Hiroshi Ibasuki. Lopez. Long for Madana, who's got the better of Burke Gilroy. Madana into the area, and Stephen Mork is there. And he enjoys his 2nd goal since returning. Their word to say in who wins the Premier's plate, because it may be decided tomorrow. Kito. The cross in, Ibasuki. Now Madana keeps it alive. Van der Sar drives it into the back of the net. There's another assist for Panache Madana since coming on barely 10 minutes ago. Isaias wants the throw his way. It goes for Jelicic. Hoare. Berongate. Back for Henry Hoare. Henry Hoare, good save. Delianov. Lofthouse drives it back in. And Waddingham, he turns the ball into the back of the net. So the youngster, just over 8 minutes left, plus stoppage time. Plenty of time for Brisbane. Lofthouse, he'll get another chance. Bounces back off Kito. O'Shea's ball, back post. Burke Gilroy is there. Now Berongate. His cross is not a bad one, and Henry Hoare has pulled another goal back. 4-3.
Stujovski will be looking for from the number 14.
Here, just a second start now through to Barbarouses. Costa's 1-on-1. Costa Barbarouses opens the scoring in Wellington. Lucky 13 for the season for Costa. And the Knicks take a 1-0 lead.
They won't be short of motivation, as I'm sure Carl Veer will want to understand who he can call upon for next season, and they got a bit of a response from them last night.
Here is Sutton. Old's going to track that one down towards the far post. Arriving Payne! Tim Payne makes it 2. The header at the far post from a pinpoint cross, and Wellington double their money.
I think he was the only player involved after Ben Old's run
The check is complete. It is Zavada against Curto. Welcome back, Oscar Zavada. A third goal for Wellington tonight. Momentum secure heading into the playoffs. And Oscar Zavada with a goal he's craved for quite some time.
Dan Hall just having to reach for that one, but it's a good release from the central defender, and Alan Quall is away. Slightly errant touch, gets a second goal, and Alan Quall scores! It's his first goal since New Year's Eve, and it sends those Mariners fans into ecstasy. To end their season on a losing note, but they're on the attack here. Clayton Taylor, who's found plenty of room down that left-hand side in the first half, again getting clear, and the cross is not a bad one, it's 1-1! Apostolos Stomatolopoulos, who breaks Adam Taggart's 9-year club record of 16 goals in a season, with his 17th of the campaign, and just like that, a minute after the restart, Docker found the cross over the head of Ryan Edmondson. Set up through Farrell, Harrison Steele, and it's got in! A deflection! Harrison Steele! A goal that puts the Mariners back in the Premier's Plate ascendancy. Michael Docker with the free kick. Right in front of a bank of yellow and navy blue. That's 3-1, that'll do it. Ryan Edmondson from close range. The Mariners are going to go back to Gosford, needing just a point to lift the Premiership, barring a late miracle from the Jets here.
That's Sydney FC now taking on MacArthur. It's still possible. Oh, as here goes Bruno Fornaroli, the destroyer in the first game between these two sides. The cutback for Mashash! And Melbourne Victory are in front. Just 3 minutes in.
Able at least to take a breather. For the time being, at least.
Now Traore. Oh, that's a great ball for Arzani! Crisp finish. And they haven't regrouped quickly enough. A quarter of an hour in, the Melbourne Victory have doubled their advantage. It's a flowing move. And just shows you how simple football can be. Pass, not so beautiful. Here's Gabriel Clerc on the charge. Gabriel Clerc. That's a neat little pass for Lockie Brook. And how about the finish? Great initiative from Gabriel Clerc, charging forward. Shakluna peeling off to the right. Priestman back with Marcelo. Now Shakluna, first time ball. Parias, oh, easy as you like. They're back level. Nick Milanovic with the cool celebration in front of the Northern Terrace to try and just tighten the screw a little bit here. Mashash's touch, he gets it back. Mashash into the area. Still Mashash with Arzani now. Arzani deflected and into the back of the net. Arzani at the double with a little helping hand. Perth Glory. Priestman long towards Eunice. The little nod down is brilliant for Blair. It's still alive. It's in the back of the net. Aidan Hammond. And we're all square with 17 minutes left to play. And as we celebrate two legends of the game, it's a youngster with his first ever A-League goal. Brillante. The cross comes in. Not enough elevation. Headed away by Miranda. Priestman. Oscar Priestman deflected. It's in! Unbelievable. 3 minutes left in regulation time.
Short spell with Sydney FC. The foul by Katrumbis has given Sydney this set piece, which was driven in and headed in for the opening goal by Jordan Courtney-Perkins. Some return to the Sydney FC starting 11. A perfectly flighted free kick. Perth's marking, not for the first time in recent weeks, was all at sea. And Courtney-Perkins said thank you very much. Lolly. Touched by Caceres. Kaczarski, good save. The follow-up for Lolly, surely. Turns it in. Sydney have their 2-goal cushion. And those heroics from Ollie Sale meant nothing in the end. Double figures for the season for Joe Lolly. You can add 7 assists to that too. A terrific season for the former Nottingham Forest winger. Lack of goals for the Sky Blues. There's his previous penalty, singular. He doesn't score many. 11 in 274 games. Make that 12. It's only his second ever goal for Sydney FC. His last one came against Wellington in January 2021. Benny. And finds Rawlins well. They've worked this nicely. Carluccio. And they find the angle for a shot. They can, you know. It's a brilliant finish from you-know-who. Adam Taggart. 20 goals for the season. And he will win the Golden Boots for just the second time in his career.
Well, I should think as good as any in the bottom 4 of the 6 as it's currently constructed.
Here's Joe Lolly looking to make it 4. Sale holds them up momentarily, but only that. And Robert Mack gets in on the scoring act in front of the Cove to make it 4-1 for Sydney.
You get to these points of the season and Luke Bratton has been seemingly protected from yellow card trouble.
Here's Mack. Sale's come out a long way. Mack around the keeper. Goal number 50 of the season for Sydney FC. And Robert Mack has a double to celebrate that 50th game in the competition for the Sky Blues. And Perth have fallen apart once again. Ryan Grant. Caceres. Open pasture here on the left. Joel King. 6 of the best for Sydney FC. And Joel King's second A-League goal this season. Here's the good news for Glory. We're into stoppage time. Lolly. Oh, it's crept in. Nothing Ollie Sale could do about that one. And Sydney are in 7th heaven. They've equalled their biggest ever margin of victory. And Joe Lolly has a double to match Robert Mack.
Set piece for Melbourne City. Tolgay Arslan whips it in, near post, the finish, and it is McLaren ghosting in at the back post. Classic Jamie McLaren.